Hello everybody, I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day. It is a beautiful day here down in Texas. A bit warm, had a great walk. I hope you, wherever you are, the weather may be equally beautiful. But we're answering your cord cutting related questions for about the next hour. If you're watching this on replay every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're live on YouTube answering your cord cutting related questions in the hope of helping you get the most out of your cord cutting experience, break free from the high cost cable TV, but still watch the shows you want to watch. So make sure you join us every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, or at 8 p.m. Eastern, excuse me. If you are new here, and ask your questions. You can always find us over at our Facebook group, Facebook's Cord Cutting Tech Support Facebook group. Over 50, I think about 53,000 members there that do nothing but answer your cord cutting related questions. So join us over there every week, day, 24/7 if you have a question, or join us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern right here. I hope everybody is having just a fantastic day, and we're going to do our best to help you out. Thank you, Edward, for turning off your ad blocker. Hello, Johnny, Goose, Richard, Clark, Kay, and I are in. I hope I said that right. So it's great to see you all here. Let's dive into the news here in a minute. All right, a suggestion for get around blackouts? Not really right now, though they're becoming less and less of a thing. Hopefully they continue to be less and less of a thing going forward. All right, switch up. I got to get into my admin side. Jessica, Daniel, Christopher, Chris, good to see you all around. All right, so YouTube's new interface is causing me trouble. Bear with me 1 second. Here we go. Switch over to the classic and we can go. So almost 60,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who makes that a possibility. Unbelievable. Can't believe we've already almost hit 60,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. All right, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to turn down. All right, so I may not look quite as much of a ghost now. We'll see. So I hope everybody's having a great day. Do I like the Pluto TV channels? Yes, I absolutely love the new Pluto TV channels. Really appreciate your adding the lineup, because I think they add a lot to cord cutting. I also noticed that Fubo added their Viacom channels. I also noticed that Fubo TV added comments, so that's great to see. So many new changes and everything happening. I know we have a new changes to the camera, and I did notice that too. That looks awfully bright. So let me do one more quick change here. All right, let's see if that does anything. This is what we call live YouTube help. So I have a new camera settings, or same camera, new settings, trying out some stuff, and apparently that made me look like I was being completely blinded by a massive spotlight in my face. So let's see if this is a much better. I don't know. I'll have to play around with this a little bit later. All right. So if you have a question, ask it. We'll do our best to help you get the most of your cord cutting experience. Hopefully answer some cord cutting questions today, and we'll get into it. How was my travels? New York City was amazing. It was fun to meet a lot of people at places like Viacom and more. So it was a lot of fun to get into that. So we'll be having more news coming up in the days and weeks. Richard says he just started HBO for 1 month. That's the great thing about cord cutting. He says he wants Game of Thrones. Get HBO during Game of Thrones. When Game of Thrones is over, cancel. There is no need to have Game of Thrones all the time. So that's the really cool thing there that I really like. So we'll have to keep that in mind. All right. All right. If you have a question, ask it. I'm just reading through all the comments here, trying to do my best to answer as many of them as possible. Luke, do you think that YouTube TV would add the NFL Network without raising the price? With the recent price hike, there may be enough room to do that. But again, the more channels you add, the higher the price could go. Always keep in mind that the more you want, the more you're going to pay. So just balance that. What did Walmart Vudu announce today? Colin, I have a full post over at corecarsnews.com. Let me see if I can grab it. But Vudu and Walmart, Vudu is owned by Walmart, announced that Vudu is going to launch 12 original series this year, which I guess will be free ad supported. It will join all the free ad content out there on Hulu at the moment. And from my understanding, I'll put a link to the story in there. They will. There's a few of them announced. Others have not yet been announced. But things like Blue's Clues will come to Walmart before it comes to Nickelodeon later this year, the new season of Blue's Clues. So it's a very good move, I think, on Walmart's idea to add in more original content to draw people to Vudu for free so that they hopefully stay around and buy movies and TV shows. We'll have to see if that pays off or not. Look, NYC says on Twitter, Adweek hosted Adweek chat regarding streaming and OTT. Their question is there still room for niche, the small like anime networks, etc., streaming services in an increasingly competitive TV? Yes. I think anime is the best example of this, that on traditional pay TV, anime was never successful. It was in limited formats like Toonami, but a dedicated full channel of anime was tried a few times and it never went anywhere. So that went nowhere, but the good news is it did in turn, when streaming came, found a huge audience, and it's been very successful, very profitable with Crunchyroll and Funimation streaming services. So keep a good eye on it. It was, I think, more and more niche ones. We're seeing things like fishing really taking off, and all these like little interests which wouldn't make profit on TV are becoming profitable on streaming. Any idea when the new Viacom channels will be added to Pluto? Josh, they went live earlier today. So the Viacom channels are now live on Pluto. I was watching Spike earlier today. And this is one thing. I got a lot of some very nasty emails and comments from people saying, Luke, you include Spike. Spike's no longer, it's now Paramount. Well, on Pluto TV, Spike is back. Spike is once again a channel on Pluto TV, which you can watch and enjoy all your favorite old Spike shows with the Spike logos, etc., over on Pluto TV. Hey, Luke, any chance someone can replace Elias in AFTV News? He had great news. Yeah, Elias, if you watch our YouTube channel, he's been on our YouTube channel in the past as a guest. Him and I actually used to co-host a podcast about cord cutting several years ago now, about 3 or almost 4 years ago now. But he is now a product manager for the Fire TV with Amazon. I think a smart move by Amazon that he is now a member of the Fire TV team, and he'll try to have a hands-on part in what's happening in the world of the Fire TV. So congratulations to Elias from AFTV News. For now, he just says the site will remain dormant. Hopefully somebody picks it up and does something with it. Thanks, movie fan. I'm not sure if Spike's still around in the UK. I think it's still around in parts of Europe. I'm not sure. It could very well be also in the UK. Where can I find resolution live TV streaming service such as 720 versus 1080i versus 1080p? I think pretty much all the major ones now offer up to 1080p. The thing you got to remember is not all channels broadcast in 1080p. Some channels are only in 720, for instance. So it depends on which particular channels, on which services. I think YouTube TV is the only one that has every channel in 60 frames per second. But again, they may be broadcasting in 60 frames per second, but the original feed from that particular channel may not be in 60 frames per second. So keep that in mind. Colin says, did Viacom say anything about the launch of its own streaming services for channels like Comedy Central? No, they have not. Though they have hinted that they may have Pluto TV offer add-ons in the future. They wanted to see about, they kind of discussed taking on like an Amazon channels where you could subscribe to HBO through Pluto TV and watch it in Pluto TV. You could make the logical jump that they would maybe do the same thing for Viacom owned channels where you could subscribe to some of them right through it, but I wouldn't expect that anytime soon. When is Nickelodeon coming onto Pluto TV? I remember if you mentioned them something last week. Yeah, so on Monday they announced that Viacom channels, including Nickelodeon and Nick Jr., would be coming to Pluto TV. That happened earlier today. Viacom channels are now on Pluto TV. So check it out, Pluto TV, Pluto.tv. Just enter that in the website, you scroll through the list. Any updates on NFL Sunday Ticket? Sadly, not yet. We're keeping an ear open. We should know in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or so at most, hopefully, what the NFL is going to do with the NFL Sunday Ticket. Will Hulu Live TV allow users to have a custom channel guide? We'll see. For now, they're just starting to roll out their channel guide. I have not been able to play with it, so I can't answer. You would hope, though, that they will allow you to do maybe some favorites or sort it somehow. We'll have to wait and see. Luke, with CNN on Pluto TV, do you think maybe Fox News and MSNBC will be added? MSNBC is kind of on Pluto TV. There's an NBC News feed, which includes content both from the NBC team and the MSNBC team. I could see Fox maybe doing it. For now, they're kind of promoting their own one. We'll see. But with NBC offering a CBS News-esque streaming service starting later this month, I would be very surprised if Fox isn't forced to offer some type of free option to compete, because ABC, CBS, CNN, and more now all offer free options. Is MSG coming to Pluto TV or not Pluto TV? PlayStation View, not that I heard of. I'm trying to remember. I don't believe it's there right now, and I haven't heard anything about them adding it. Will the comedy channels on Pluto TV have current episodes of The Daily Show? I don't know. I haven't been able to watch enough of it to find out. It will have recent content, but that does not necessarily mean like today kind of recent content. Any update on the A&E network and DirecTV? Earlier today, Corecar's News talked with AT&T. AT&T said that A&E networks have agreed to extend the deadline for negotiations. So for now, A&E networks like History and Lifetime and A&E obviously are staying on DirecTV now. Now that could change at any time as conversations go. If things fall apart, maybe A&E networks leaves DirecTV now. But for now, they're continuing negotiations and they're going to keep A&E networks on DirecTV now. Luke, what do you think of T-Mobile saying 5G might not come to rural areas since 5G doesn't cover a lot of distance per tower? That's kind of the benefit. You know, T-Mobile made fun of other competitors saying they're not really 5G, but other competitors have multiple layers of 5G, and one of the layers allows for farther transmission distances. So the hope would be that in rural areas you could use these slightly slower but bandwidths that offer more coverage. Of course, then you also have things like Amazon and SpaceX launching satellites into low Earth orbit, much lower than the old satellites or home internet, that will offer the ability to have high-speed internet in rural areas, and supposedly covering the entire world is the goal with SpaceX and Amazon down the road. SpaceX has received FCC clearance to do that, so they should be in the future continuing to roll out 5G or roll out satellites to start covering the United States and other areas with high-speed internet. Now, these are, again, far lower than the older satellites. Because of that, they work much better. They've already been tested with great results for very high speeds and much lower latency than a traditional satellite internet. Movie fan, Viacom and Pluto have repeatedly said they intend to keep Pluto TV as a free option out there. They're from the day they bought to the day they could done all this, that's been the main goal. And with 15 million active users, it seems to be working out very well for them right now. Do I think $50 is a lot for what YouTube TV offers? Not really. I think it was a mistake of them to jump a $10 price hike. But with the average cable TV subscription costing $107 a month, I don't really think YouTube TV is outpricing themselves. They're half the cost of a traditional cable TV-esque provider. But we'll have to wait and see what they do. It will be a very interesting day it'll be very interesting to see what the long-term goals here are of YouTube TV. I think $50, anything over that as a starting point, is a ridiculous joke at this point. Hello, Robert. Tom says he's anxiously waiting 5G home internet in the Inland Empire in California, excuse me. Yeah, checked his address, not available. Yeah, you're going to have to wait a while. It probably will come in the next 3 to 5 years. It could be next year, could be this year, but I'm not going to guarantee it's going to hit everybody this year or anytime soon. They're talking about Verizon being in 20 markets by the end of the year. Once they hit those 20 markets, they say things are going to really start to speed up, but we'll wait and see. Hey, Jeremy says he sent 2 questions in the beginning. Hey, Jeremy and everybody here. Hey, as I'm answering questions, there's over 200 people here. Chats are going by. So when I'm answering one question, I may miss another question. If I don't answer your question, instead of just saying, hey, I already asked a question, I can't scroll up and read every one because then I miss stuff down below. Just re-ask your question. I'm going to do my best to answer as many of them as I can. But again, if I don't answer your question, instead of just saying, hey, you didn't answer my question, re-ask it so I can see it, because it's very likely it just scrolled by when I didn't see it. How many more subscriptions has DirecTV now lost this week? That's a good question. We'll have to wait and see. They've definitely lost a lot of subscribers recently. The question is how many? We'll probably have to wait a few months to find out. Ian says, I've bought 55-inch 4K curved Android TV. It has full access to the Google Play Store and is Can you tell me how to jailbreak it so I can download non-Play Store apps? I believe you just go in the settings. Right there will allow you to download apps from unofficial sources. So just in the settings. How was the New York trip? A lot of fun. Very happy to be home today. After all the work, all the travel, it's very, very good to see your own house, see your own bed, see your own office. It's a lot of fun. All right. Do you know what channel Nickelodeon Nick Jr. is on Pluto TV? I don't, but at least on the website version, towards the top, there's a section that says new on Pluto TV. And in that new on Pluto TV is the 14 new Viacom channels. So check that out. Oh, thank you, Josh. Josh just said Nick is 97 and Nick Jr. is 98. But I know on the website version, again, they have a new on Pluto TV section towards the top with all the new channels. Cable TV has lost millions in a year's time. Yeah, just in the first 3 months of 2019, Comcast, Spectrum, AT&T, and Verizon, just those 4 streaming services or cable providers, have lost over 1 million subscribers. Pretty crazy. NYC says, saw on Oma's website about an Uma Tele with a 4G LTE coming soon. Is this a sign of things to come with 5G? Yeah, we've already heard from Microsoft that they intend to make their tablets with 5G built in so that you'll just sign into your 5G network and get internet wherever you are. It's definitely the direction we're moving in right now, that 5G will start being built into things. Instead of maybe someday in the future where you need a home router, maybe someday in the future, all your devices, we're far, far, far away from this, but all your devices will just have 5G in them, just like you have Wi-Fi now, and Wi-Fi will become a thing of the past. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Josh says, Pluto TV also has the new channels right at the top on their mobile apps, so that's good to hear. Yeah, Hulu did announce, Michael, today that they are capping the length of ad breaks at 90 seconds, and they're doing their best to cap the amount of times you'll see the same ad. I think they said something about like 2 times in an hour you would see the same ad or something like that max. So it's pretty good news there. Luke, which will be first? ATSC 3.0 or Discovery Scripts streaming service in your opinion? ATSC 3.0 because we're probably just months away from Sinclair launching that. Luke, is there a good way to integrate over-the-air antenna into the Apple TV so I don't have to switch inputs? You probably want something like a Tableau DVR. Tableau DVR has an Apple TV app. You connect your Tableau DVR to the Wi-Fi network, connect your antenna to the Apple TV. There you go. You can also do it with the HD Homerun if you have a home media server. And you can also do it with... I want to say Channel Master Stream something or other. I think they have a streaming stick that'll do that. But the Tableau DVR definitely works with it. Railed box, no media server needed, no additional setup or anything like that. Judy says, my mother has had cable since the first of the year and has already had 2 prices increases. Yep. As always, remember that advertised price is not the price you're going to pay. And that's what the funniest thing about all these posts, posts you see, the Boston Globe, front page of their newspaper over the weekend. Oh, cord cutting is catching up to the cost of cable. Well, maybe if you only look at the advertised price, but you would have to assume that everybody would give up their streaming platforms. If you had cable, would you really give up Netflix? Would you really give up Hulu? Are you going to miss the new season of Handmaid's Tale? So the reality is that most people will not do that. And the other reality is you got to add in all the fees, all the taxes, all the extra costs of cable. Then you add in the fact that that's only a promo rate and it expires very quickly. And you can see why cord cutting is so popular. Tom, thank you so much for that $10 donation. It goes a long ways to help Cord Cars News. We have big plans. Have something new tomorrow. Jess and I are working on something new tomorrow, so watch our YouTube channel for something new and fun tomorrow. I don't know, Minette, I probably butchered that, but better late than never. Good to have you here. When is UFC going to make its own channel instead of using Fox and so forth? UFC just partnered with ESPN Plus, so ESPN Plus is a way in the future now to watch a lot of UFC content in their pay-per-view events. So I would be surprised if they launched their own channel. I expect that they're just going to continue their partnership with ESPN Plus. What's the best free apps for local channels? Well, you may want to just enter in your local channel, see if they have one of their new free news apps out there. The best way to get local channels for free is an antenna. If you're lucky and live in one of the markets that have like Lowcast, you can get Lowcast. That's only in a handful of markets though. Luke, do you own or rent your cable modem? I do. I have my own. I live in a market where the cable modem is free, but Wi-Fi costs. So I have their actual cable modem, but I have the my own Netgear router on it. So it's a pretty good option there. But whenever possible, I always encourage you to buy your own modem because some people charge like $12 a month now for modems. That's crazy. Just crazy. Hey, Paul, thank you so much for that $10 donation. I really appreciate it. It helps us a lot. It may not seem like it, but it really does add up and it really helps us a lot. So I appreciate that $10 donation. I turn off all my add-ons for my computer so I can see the ads on your channel as well. No Life, thank you so much. It may not seem like much, but those ads are how Cord Cars News stay open. That's a great thing. A lot of people are like, I'm using ad blockers and I'm only going to hurt the big sites. Ad blockers hurt the small sites. They hurt sites like Cord Cars News. So I really appreciate that you're supporting us. All right, so if I haven't answered your question, re-ask it. I really appreciate it. If I haven't answered them again, re-ask them because as I'm talking, there's so many people here, it's flying by. Though I do have a question of the day. What show, what movie would you recommend? Every week I love to get some new ideas of what shows and what movies people would recommend. I'll love to hear from you. I'm going to throw an audiobook while all of you pull up yours. I want to make sure I get the author's name, so let me take a look here. I just finished a great audiobook on my trip, and it was quite a long one. I don't get as much time to read as I used to, but I just finished The Story of World War II in unabridged. Oh, I don't want to download it. I want to view the author's name. Read summary. Nope, doesn't show author's name. Come on, Audible. Here we go. Rate and review. By Daniel L. Miller and Henry Steele Commander. I hope I'm reading that right. Either that was the people reading it, or Michael Karmer was the writer. But the Story of World War II is an excellent book. It was like 30 hours unabridged audio. Highly recommend. I finished it on my trip, so check that out as an audiobook recommendation. The Story of World War II, if you enjoy it, it's a complete history of World War II, but told by the perspective of stories of the people who were there, rather than a big overseeing, this is what happened. It's all the personal stories of the people who went through World War II. So very interesting. The Good Fight in CBS, Game of Thrones. Of course, everybody's watching Game of Thrones, except me. I've yet to see an episode. Killing Eve. Luke, what is Watch TV? Watch TV is a streaming service owned by AT&T. It's $15 a month or free with your AT&T Unlimited and More subscription. It's a lot like Philo, but no DVR. Any update on Sunday Ticket? Sadly, no update on Sunday Ticket. They just, we should know in the next few weeks, but they have not said anything about it recently. All right, let me find one more good book recommendation. All right, I had another really good book I read recently. Gotta scroll back, I want to recommend. Come on, Audible. Come on. Audible is just not giving me, I can't find that book. Where did it go? I hate it when this happens. I have so many books. Here's another one that's pretty good. Here's a fun one that I got on Audible. Dragnet, the old time radio drama series. Remember Dragnet, the classic TV show? There was two different versions of it, black and white from the 50s and a little bit later, I want to say 60s, early 70s. It originally aired as a audio drama, a very successful one. Audible has all of them available for sale right now. If you enjoyed the old TV show Dragnet, highly recommend you get the audiobook of it from audible.com. I read an audiobook. Yep. I know a lot of people are like, you can't read an audiobook. I don't see it any different than reading it on paper or listening to it. As somebody who's a very audio learner, reading or listening to it, I actually find I remember stuff better. Luke, has Verizon said any more about its plans to bundle YouTube TV? No, there's been no new details about YouTube TV and Verizon's plans, other than Verizon intends to be selling it here in the future. All right, Philo is going to one plan on May 6th, $20, no more $60 a month. Yeah, Robert, actually it looks like Philo jumped the gun. They already are down to just a single $20 package. So if you have the $16 package, I would stick with the $16 package, because if you leave it and cancel and won't come back, I can't guarantee you're going to be able to. Any plans for Pluto TV to make longer time guides so we can see what's coming on? Probably. They've talked about continuing to improve it, but what continue to improve it means we don't know. The other thing I have saved on my phone and my computer, I found this a long time ago, and I wish they would release a CD here of this. I would pay good money for a high quality version, but somebody shared with me, a friend of mine gave me a thumb drive, and he had recorded 100 Paul Harvey, the rest of the stories. So I got a $16 version of it, or 16 hours worth of it, of Paul Harvey, the rest of the story. Anybody here remember 3 times a day having to listen to Paul Harvey on the radio? Anyone? Love it. So I think there's a lot of YouTube videos of the rest of the stories, but I got this like file here of just gigabytes and gigabytes of the rest of the story from Paul Harvey. So really cool. Hopefully they release a CD. If you are anywhere related to the Paul Harvey estate, you want to make a lot of money, release all of the rest of the stories on CD or digital download, and I will pay good money for that in high quality. Jess says she can still find the $16 ones if you look hard enough. I'll have to check that out because we'll have to post about that. Remind me of that tomorrow, Jess. When I went up Philo's website, maybe it was just when I looked over the weekend, it was only showing this $20 version, so maybe they fixed it. Thanks for letting me know. I'll take a look at that again. Dave says his friend of him just let him share DirecTV Now. Then he got rid of it because it said it cost too much. Yeah, DirecTV Now raised the price, and they've lost, I think somebody said 20 or 30% of their subscribers in the last like 6 months. Does Philo's new package contain all the channels of the old one? Yes, it's just the $20 package, so it includes everything the old ones have out there. What is spinning besides your head? I don't know. I don't see anything spinning. I don't know. Maybe a bug was flying around over here. It is spring in Texas, and that means bugs. Yes, Lowcats will bug you for a donation. It's annoying, but you can use it for free if you can put up with the annoyances. Any news on Apple Plus? No, they still say sometime late this year, second half of this year, I should say. Pluto TV adds new channels today. $14. Yep, the Viacom channels are now live on Pluto TV. Where do I see cord cutting in 2 years? I don't think we really know. With so many changes, with the fact that cable subscribers are leaving in a rapidly increasing rate, I think it does leave the real possibility that cord cutting is going to accelerate. As cord cutting accelerates, more and more companies are going to offer a cord cutting friendly version out there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Do I know when the Apple TV app is going to be released? No, the beta is out, but they have not said when the full version is going to launch. Yes, Philo is still available for $16 apparently if you have to look. When I looked over the weekend on the website, it was only promoting the $20 version. So I'll put a post up tomorrow breaking down the fact how to get the $16 version. Luke, doesn't Apple channels launch this month? I believe they kind of hinted at that, but they've kind of been quiet. Apple's been very quiet since their big announcement. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Once Apple's channels launches, once the new Apple TV app is out, once it's on Roku, Fire TV, etc., you better believe I will have full coverage of everything happening there. Craig, I just saw an ad for Pluto TV on Zoom last night. Now there's some aggressive guerrilla marketing, buying ads on your competitors for people to check you out. Honestly, the great thing about cord cutting, there's no reason why you don't have both Pluto TV and Zoom. They offer some overlapping content, but a lot of the content is exclusive to both. They're both free, so why not have both? And are we buffering a lot? It seems to, when I'm looking at the YouTube diagnosis, it says that we're having very good stream quality right now. Is Pluto TV looking to buy anybody? No, I don't think Pluto TV is going to buy anybody. Pluto TV is now owned by Viacom. They sold themselves. Kyle, yes, you can still get Philo's $16 a month package, so check that out. Michael, Roku 9.1 has rolled out to a few of our devices, so if you don't have it now, hopefully in the next couple weeks you will get it. If I could only have one device, which would it be? I'd probably go with Roku only because it has pretty much everything. With Apple TV's app coming to Roku, with Amazon on it, with Google Play on it, with Vudu on it, etc., it's kind of the service that has everything. I can't really think of anything it doesn't have. There is no official Twitch app now, unless you are grandfathered in, but there are unofficial ones. So I would say I'd probably go with Roku just because it kind of has everything. For any shortcomings they may have, the ability to say that it has everything is pretty cool. Now with Fire TV getting YouTube and YouTube TV later this year, that will help improve that gap. More and more services been coming to Apple TV also, and Android TV. So really, that argument of like, YouTube doesn't have or isn't on Fire TV and Amazon was on Android, well, that's coming to an end later this year, which will kind of mean you just get whatever device you really want because they will all now pretty much have everything out there. Hey Dave, I'm glad you hate Pluto TV. We hear you, and that's the great thing about cord cutting. If you don't like it, don't use it. Unlike cable, which says, hey, you have to pay for this big bundle. Even if you don't like this channel, you have to pay for it. With cord cutting, if you don't like a service like Pluto TV, just don't use it. Howard says, why haven't there been too many ads from PlayStation View and Facebook lately? Have you been seeing them or you haven't been seeing them? It seems like Sony's been investing heavily in PlayStation View recently. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. If Hulu has locals, why don't they have channels like MeTV, This TV, Ion? Because they have to pay for them, and the more channels you pay for, the higher the cost goes up. I would highly recommend you get an antenna because it gives you a whole lot more channels. For instance, Hulu just has 4 locals in my market, but with my antenna, I get 47 channels with my antenna. So I would highly recommend you get a antenna, even if you have a service like Hulu or PlayStation View or DirecTV Now, etc. Where can I get a remote for my Roku Premiere Plus? I need a new remote. 2 ways to go. Of course, go to Roku.com. You can buy them on Amazon. Be careful, there's a lot of knockoffs on there, some of which are good third-party remotes, some of them are not. If you really want to make sure you're getting a genuine Roku remote, go to Roku.com. They sell replacement remotes at, I think, a fairly reasonable price. Luke, why do I hate cable so much? I don't really hate cable so much, but I'm not going to overpay for cable. Here's the thing, I get everything I want, and when I cut the cord, I saved over $100 a month. Why not do that, right? If cord cutting is going to give me everything I want and save me $100 a month, why would I pay for cable? And here's my question to you. If you like cable, why? It's not about the ads to me. It's about saving $100 a month and getting even more content than I got when I had cable. So just keep that in mind. Edward is right. If an antenna goes out, or if internet goes out, antenna still works. Yeah, it's always a great one. Here's one other reason to get an antenna. The picture quality with an antenna is far superior than anything with YouTube TV, Hulu, whatever. I have yet to find a live TV streaming service or cable or satellite that has better picture than an antenna. So if you can, an antenna will give you more content and a better picture for free once you buy it. Hey Josh, unfortunately YouTube actually blocks pretty much all links unless we specifically approve them. You can try to post it, it may or may not let you. Problem is so many spammers spammed channels like Core Cars News and other ones with links to other sites that YouTube kind of put this rule in that we're just not going to allow links in chat anymore. It's kind of one of those things that, bad eggs have ruined it for the rest of us. Hey everybody, real quick, I'm going to play about 15-30 second ad because it pays the bills. This will be a quick ad and then we'll be right back here. For everybody who does not see the ad, which would be the most of you, I don't understand how YouTube decides who sees the ads and who doesn't see the ads. But we actually have a app now for iOS, Android, and even the Fire tablets. So in the show notes down below, I have a link right at the top to the new Core Cars News app. If you like our app, it has actually reduced number of ads. So if you don't like ads, down in the show notes down below is the app with far less ads. But it also has cool features like offline recording, favorite, or offline viewing, favorite a story to check it out later. If you have a story you think is very helpful, you don't want to lose it, favorite it. And if you like that app, our Core Cars News app, link in the show notes for iOS, Android, and Fire tablets, give us a 5-star rating on Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, etc. It really does help us. Somebody keeps saying they're seeing a lot of buffering. Is people experiencing buffering? Leave me a comment. When I look at YouTube, they give me a status of how the stream is, and it says we're actually got a very great connection there. Do I miss what you say when an ad plays? Yes, but I don't say anything new. I was just telling people to go download our ad. So if you didn't get an ad that YouTube played, you got an ad for me promoting our new app. Excuse me. No buffering. Well, people say everything's good, so we're going to continue. If you're experiencing buffering, it may be your home internet or your wireless internet. Will Mohu antenna work on an older SD TV? Yes, it will work on there. They have coaxial cable connectors, so if your TV has that old screw-on coaxial cable, you're good to go with a Mohu antenna. I have a 1 gigabyte higher speed, so there's the Wi-Fi. That's great. One thing about your older TV does need to have the new tuners. If it's built before 2008, which a lot of maybe older tube TVs are, you may need to get an adapter, which can be, I think, as cheap as $20 to $50 to get a digital converter adapter. You plug your antenna into that box, and then that box into your TV. Dave G says he sent an email to Core Cars News and never heard back. We try to reply to as many emails as possible, Dave, but we get somewhere in the range of 200 to 300 emails a day, unfortunately. So we try to reply to as many as we possibly can, and we actually have a staff that Becca in the office, 90% of what she does some days, it seems like, is answering emails, Facebook messages, Twitter messages, and more. So we're doing our absolute best to answer as many as we can, and that's also another reason why we do these weekly Q&As, because this is one more opportunity for me to do my best to answer as many of your questions as possible. Is the update for the Roku 9.1 be out around mid-May? Yes, it's already starting to roll out. I have a few Rokus with 9.1. Hopefully the next few weeks yours will receive it if you have not. Stefan, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize. I'm having a long day. I just cut the cable TV cord last week and tried the Verizon Jetpack for over-the-air Wi-Fi, but found it inadequate. Do you have any other internet suggestions? Shop around. Of course, play DSL and cable against each other. See if you have AT&T internet. Check out services like Toast.net, which resells AT&T internet without a data cap. Shop around is the best I can say. Hopefully, that's kind of the dream of 5G and these low Earth orbit satellites, is that soon you'll have options from 5G and Amazon and SpaceX, etc. Luke, do you some days have intentions to have a streaming channel on Roku, Fire TV, etc.? We've definitely thought about it, but for now, if you want to watch us on Roku, Fire TV, etc., you can just watch us through YouTube on those devices. So for now, we're doing our best to answer as many of them as possible with there. Oh, sorry, I'm answering, talking, things got mixed up. Yes. So if you want to watch our videos, man, I was reading and talking and suddenly I switched conversations midstream. I apologize. If you want to watch us on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, you can do that through the YouTube app. Right now we're trying to grow our YouTube channel. We're on our way to 100,000, so if you're new here, I see a lot of new names. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, it really does help us. But we have thought about having an app. We may or may not do it, we'll see. For now, we're using the YouTube app to watch, or if you want to watch Core Cars News on the Fire TV. Luke, has the official YouTube app launched on the Fire TV app? No, but they say sometime by the end of the year it will. Luke, what is Zoom? Zoom is basically a Pluto TV type service. It's XUMO, but I guess they pronounce it like Zoom. It's available on the Fire TV, on Roku, on phones, tablets, desktops, laptops. I don't know if they have an Apple TV app, but it's escaping me. I want to say they don't have an Apple TV app. Luke, how do you watch video content on Twitter? You can download the Twitter video app on some devices. I used to have a Roku app. They dropped it. They say it's coming back. And then you can also go and watch it on Twitter's website. They'll have videos pop up there at the top often. And I think on the Twitter app now, at the very top, you often see videos that are live. Luke, I have the Fire TV Cube. I do like it, but why is there never an update? From my understanding, they have rolled out updates. Fire TV Cube will automatically update, so you don't really have to do anything. You can force it if you're lucky. When you force it and there's already an update waiting, you'll get it. Otherwise, your Fire TV will update when you're not using it. Luke, how long do you think PlayStation View will last in the future, and will they add NHL or Viacom channels? Well, first about them adding channels. The more they add, the more the price is going to go up. So be careful what you wish for when you want them to add content. You may want to shop around. As far as do I think they'll last, for right now, Sony is investing heavily in PlayStation View, so I do expect them to continue into the future. Does HD Homerun now work on the Fire TV? I believe yes, that the Fire TV app returned to the Amazon channel store after they announced that they terminated their live TV streaming service. How do I spell the Zoom channel? X-U-M-O. I'll type it in real quick. Oh, I misspelled it. My apologies. There's the correct spelling. Let me delete the other one. Whew. I had a typo there. My apologies. XUMO. Luke, do you think Viacom and CBS will merge? By all accounts, it sounds very likely that Viacom and CBS will be merging here in the next year or two. It sounds like they've replaced a bunch of people on the board with people who intend to have the merger go through. So I do expect that to happen. Luke, is Sharp's Ultra HD TV ain't good? I haven't had a Sharp TV yet. I'm testing it, but I would say they are good. All right, so if you have any questions, leave a comment. We have about 10 minutes, so get your questions in. If you asked a question and I did not answer it, re-ask it. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It is unbelievably helpful to us. I cannot stress this again. Those subscriptions are unbelievably helpful. Hopefully in the future, we can help you save some money and watch the shows you still want to watch. So hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and we're going to do our best to help you get the most of your cord cutting experience. Luke, if Viacom and CBS merge, do you see them adding Viacom channels to all CBS All Access? Not necessarily, though they could release their own thing like that. We'll see. If they do, again, the more you offer, the higher the price goes up. You know, just be careful what you wish for when you want all this stuff out there. Hey, Dave G, again, we do our best to answer as many emails. Your email may just, A, may got caught in our spam system for one reason or another, or B, we're just unfortunately unable to reply to every single email. And that's the purpose of doing these questions here. My recommendation to you is ask the question you had in your email right here. I'm right here. Ask your question, and we'll do our best. Because again, I can't promise we're going to answer every email out there. And it's very likely that maybe your email address was misentered somehow, and it went into the black hole of email servers out there. Luke, any news on a new NVIDIA Shield and what features? No, NVIDIA has kind of downplayed the idea that there will be a new NVIDIA Shield. But with that said, Google has announced that they will be having new Android TV hardware announcements here in the next few weeks. Will that be a new NVIDIA Shield? Could be. Could be not. We don't know. It's all guessing. Anything about what will be announced in the world of Android TV or a new NVIDIA Shield is pure speculations. Luke, what happened to Spectrum TV Essentials? Spectrum TV Essentials is live. It does not have a website. Seems to be you have to call for it and beg. It is only in some markets. You have to have Spectrum's internet and more. Or right here. Internet to subscribe to Spectrum's Essentials. Hey Dave, obviously either we're not getting your email or you didn't get a response. Again, if you have a question, ask it right here. This is your opportunity. If you don't ask here, I can't guarantee you're going to get a response. Yeah, Spectrum TV Essentials is not being advertised for some reason, but they do offer it if you ask, if you're in one of the markets where it's available. Luke, do you recommend a modem router to buy so I can avoid the fees? I've been very happy with the Netgear brand ones. I think TP-Link has some too. So, check out your Amazon reviews. They're really good deals out there. Luke, is Roku getting into live content? Roku, through the Roku channel, does have live. Now, it's not from Roku. It's from partners like Stadium and ABC, etc. But there is live content available through the Roku channel for free. Sling Blue with the 4 extra package is the best, maybe the best bang for your buck out there. Yeah, Sling TV's 4 add-ons for $10 deal really does give you a lot of channels at a really good rate. If you have Sling TV, for an extra $10, you get 4 add-ons and good ones too, so check it out. Luke, what live TV service gives a cable-like experience in the user interface? There's several. Pretty much all of them now have a traditional grid guide. Hulu has announced they will be launching a traditional grid guide soon. DirecTV has it, though a lot of people complain about the clunkiness of it. PlayStation Vue has it. Sling has it. Philo has it rolling out to more devices now. So most of them do. My recommendation is take advantage of the free trial and pick the service you enjoy most based on the free trial. Sling TV does offer phone support. You can call Sling TV and get customer service by calling their phone number. Luke, do you think that DirecTV now will go back to their old plan to stop the bleeding? No, I don't think AT&T really cares much for DirecTV now, to be honest with you. I do not think the old plans are coming back at their old prices. Beavis and Butthead is apparently streaming live on Pluto TV right now. That's crazy. Pluto TV is maybe something that is greatly underestimated. Well, it's somebody here. Let me go. Let me do this. Hey, Dave G. If you go to this link right there on Sling TV's help site, it clearly says you can click on either chat or phone. They have live support from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern, I guess, on social media also, if you want to contact them through Facebook or Twitter. Is it better to buy a new TV with a built-in Roku Fire TV, or should I get a separate one? If you're perfectly happy with your TV, just get a Roku or Fire TV separate. No reason to buy a brand new TV if there's nothing wrong with your TV. If you are looking at TV, I do think the new Roku's Fire TVs are a good deal. So they're not a bad option out there. Hey, Dave G, one last time in my attempt to help you. I just shared a link right here in the chat where you can click on that and you can select their live chat, or you can give them a phone call. It's right there on their website. I don't know where you're getting this, that they do not offer chat support. Court TV is available in Cleveland. Yes, they launch next week. Court TV is starting to put placeholders online around the nation, and the channels are going to go live in. And we actually have a post over at courtcarsnews.com over the weekend that lists every local they're going to go live in. But Court TV launches next week. Look, I want to buy a 4K TV for gaming. You know of any good TVs. For under $1,000, the TCL Roku TV 6 Series, the 6 Series line, is probably the best TV for under $1,000 right now, with 4K HDR and all that. How can I watch the new Twilight Zone? You need to get CBS All Access if you want to watch the Twilight Zone. Luke, is there any way to support watch Lowcast without being in one of the support areas? No, that would firmly break their terms of service. No Court TV in Erie, Pennsylvania. Not yet, but Court TV has announced that they intend to launch streaming on their website and at a later date apps for devices like Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. No day or time for when that will happen. Hopefully it'll be close to launch next week. Sounds like Court TV is doing the Comet TV kind of thing. Free over there and free streaming online. Look, I just saw a Motley Fool that Disney's mostly competing against cable TV more than Netflix. Maybe not. I think they're just competing for everybody, just to be honest with you. All right. I think we're going to wrap this up. Real huge thank you to everybody who is here. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It really does help us. We do daily news recaps of the biggest news happening in the world of cord cutting. We do a big weekend recap. And starting tomorrow, we'll have a new podcast. We're going to bring back our weekly cord cutting podcast. We're going to have a video of it here on YouTube. But we're also going to release an audio-only version of our weekly podcast. Jess is going to join me. We're going to be talking some of the biggest news stories happening from the past week, just like our weekend recaps, but in a longer format with two hosts. Even in the future, talking about some interviews with some big names in the cord cutting industry. So if you're new here, join us every Wednesday or every Thursday for now. I may change that time and date for a weekly cord cutting podcast. So check it out. We're going to do our best to keep you up to date on everything happening in the world of cord cutting on YouTube, on the site, on our social media, and now with a weekly podcast. So check that out. Ralph, I don't remember seeing any of your questions. If you re-ask your question right now, I will do my best to answer it. Hey, thank you so much for those that $2 donation. It's a huge help. And again, for everybody, instead of just leaving a message like, hey, he's ignoring my question, do me a favor, re-ask the question so I can actually see it. With over almost 300 people on the chat right now, with about 15 comments every minute, it's hard to answer questions in real time. Some things are going to get missed. So re-ask your question, Ralph. I will do my best to answer it if you can get it in right now. But yes, Chris, thanks for this. We just hit 66,000 subscribers over the weekend, I think it was. We're about to hit 67,000. Maybe as soon as tomorrow. We'll wait and see. 67,000 any dime now. Luke, do you intend to review the new TCL HD TVs hitting the market this year? Yes, I intend to. Yes, Grand Valley. It's good to see you there. Were you also a graduate at Grand Valley? Ralph, so there you go. Ralph, yes, I do intend to review as many TVs and things as I can in the world of cord cutting. Colin, no, we won't be live streaming the recording of the podcast, but we maybe in the future we'll do something like that. We'll see. But we will be doing a video and audio version of the podcast that will be posted both on YouTube. And check out Cord Cutters News for a link to an audio download of the podcast. And once the podcast has been created, we do intend to submit it to like iTunes and all that stuff. But getting it on iTunes and getting it on Google Play and getting it on all those other places does take a little bit of time, because first you have to have the first podcast to submit and look, here's our podcast. Then they have to review it, and then they have to approve it. So it could take a week before we hit all those services, but we'll have a link where you could manually add it to your iTunes, to all your favorite podcast links. We will also have a MP3 direct download option, and of course you'll be able to watch it right here on YouTube. But we will be submitting it to iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever I can get the podcast. I'm not sure Spotify will accept ours. We'll see. Dave G, we will definitely be posting it on the courtcardsnews.com and here on YouTube. When do you think broad 3D will be put in TVs? 3D TVs were being made, and then they realized no one wanted 3D, and they stopped making 3D TVs because people didn't pay for them. So I'm going to quickly hit play on a 15-30 second ad. It pays the bills, so please watch it. For everybody else here, hey, thank you so much for your support. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us. And we'll do our best to answer your cord cutting related questions and hopefully help you save a ton of money. So again, thank you to everybody for joining us for our weekly cord cutting Q&A. Join us tomorrow for both the daily cord cutting update and the new cord cutting podcast. So fingers crossed. All right, so I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you again so much for being here. Can't believe we're almost going to hit 67,000 people probably tomorrow. So join us, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to check back for the first ever, not the first ever because we used to have a podcast, but the return of the weekly cord cutting podcast going live tomorrow. So take care, everybody. I'll see you.